Hey everyone, have I here been a video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle? Well, sort of. We're just going to be using its card arts because we're going to be taking a look at the top 5 Dragon Ball fathers due to the fact that, hey, we're celebrating Father's Day here in the United States. So we're just going to dive into it and have this little fun little discussion. So with that, if you're new to my channel, like, subscribe, comment below, do all that good stuff. Let's go ahead and dive right in. So the fathers we're not going to really be focusing on, I would say, are the villains, because there's two that comes into mind, and that's Frieza and Cell. Now, Frieza, of course, has Kuriza, which is not very known in the storyline, things of that nature. So it's hard to judge if he's a good father or not. I highly doubt it. And just much like Frieza, King Cold doesn't make the top 5 list either. Probably if I did a top 10, it probably would have made it as well. And you look at Cell, yes, Cell's technically a father because he has all these Cell Juniors, but basically lets them die when he fights against Gohan. So neither of these individuals are going to be on the top 5 list. On top of that, like King Vegeta as well, we really don't know the relationship that much with Vegeta, so we're gonna go ahead and take him off the list. Now, a lot of people are thinking, you know what, is the main character of Dragon Ball going to be on the top 5 fathers list? And you know the answer to that, and that's an absolutely not a chance. Goku is an absentee father. We all know this. Now, technically, he was absent because he was dead. All right, we understand that. He died, and then, Piccolo had to go ahead and step in to be this father figure of Gohan, and then in the Cell Saga, he dies, and then during the Buu Saga, he returns and finds out, hey, here's Goten, and they really don't have a relationship either. So technically, he's an absentee father because he died, but when he's alive, he's generally not there either because he's out there fighting and training. So there is no way I'm putting Goku on the top 5. He's one of the worst fathers in Dragon Ball. I would say some people would argue that, but I cannot disagree with that more. He's definitely not on the best list, more on the worst list. But again, that is my opinion. Agree or disagree, let me know. Now, another individual that's, like father, like son, Bardock is not going to be on this top 5 list either, due to the fact that, yes, he's kind of fighting for the freedom of the Saiyans with Frieza, but just like Goku, he dies, right? He dies, and he's not going to be a part of Goku's life, and then Goku gets sent away, etc., etc. The whole kind of Superman story there. So yes, those individuals, not going to talk about it. So now let's go ahead and dive in to the top 5 and say, okay, am I on the right track here? Again, subjective, but this is my top 5 list of fathers in Dragon Ball. So coming at number 5 is, for me, Ox King. Out of all the minor characters in Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, Ox King doesn't get enough credit. Now, you look at the life of Ox King, not as glamorous and as wealthy as Dr. Briefs, and Dr. Briefs does not make the list here because, Dr. Briefs, he spends most of his time in his technology building this crazy empire. It's kind of not there, technically for Bulma. Gives her tons of money, but technically just that's kind of I would say a little bit absent in a different way, not like Goku way. But I think Ox King has always been there for Chi-Chi and will always be there, and I think Ox King is a solid father figure, so he comes in the top 5 list. Ox King, of course, the father of Chi-Chi. Let's go ahead and move on to the number 4 spot. So the number 4 spot for me is actually my favorite character in Dragon Ball, and that is Vegeta. So Vegeta, of course, the father of Trunks and Boa, and you can see in the beginning of the relationship with Vegeta and Trunks, definitely non-existent, definitely not there. And as this progresses on, of course, with the Cell Saga and continuing on to Super, and then in the future in GT as well, you can see that the growth, and that's the great thing about Vegeta, he has the best arcs and the growth of a Dragon Ball character, and that's why I like him so much. I think he's the more fascinating one, besides the main character Goku. It is the Goku show, but second comes a strong Vegeta here, and he is my favorite, and maybe a little bit biased, but yeah, I have him in the top 5. At number 4, definitely has a strong relationship with Trunks, and then you can see in various instances that he loves Bola. So anyway, coming in number 4, Vegeta, the man, the best character in Dragon Ball the series. So coming in at number 3, this was very difficult for me. I was actually had a toss up between 3 and 2, but I actually have Gohan as the number 3. Of course, with his relationship with Pan, we all know they have a really strong one. We see that a lot in Dragon Ball Super. However, we also see that he's not quite always there. He's doing a lot of work in his studies. So kind of a bit like father and son, nowhere near the absentee father as Goku. So that's definitely does a much better job at being there, but kind of not. The whole Dragon Ball Super story, kind of neglected. Yes, he comes back and saves the day, just like Goku. Goku comes back, saves the day, but Pan wouldn't be in trouble, quote unquote trouble, not real trouble, if he kept a closer eye on him, on her. So yeah, I do have Gohan in the number 3 spot, and the number 2 spot again was tough. I was kind of flopping between the number 2 and the number 3 spot. And number 2 goes to the boy Krillin, and I think Krillin and Marin has an amazing relationship as far as what we see, in the manga and in the series. And Krillin doesn't have as much responsibility as the Saiyans, right? He's just a law enforcement individual. He goes out and takes care of business and comes home and hangs out with 17 and 18 and Marin, and they have a good relationship. It just seems that way. It seems like he is a incredible father, and so I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt since we don't have all the details, but I think there's enough evidence that he is a superior father, comparable to at least the Saiyans. That's not really a high bar, but hey, you know what? That's what I'm working with here. So number 1, undoubtedly number 1. We know what the number 1 father in Dragon Ball is, and that's Piccolo, right? He is technically not the father of Gohan. You can say he's the stepfather of Gohan, but he is a father nonetheless. He has brought up Gohan. He continues to do so in Super, right? All the way from the Saiyan saga all the way to Super. He's been there. He seems like he's a great grandfather as well with Pan. No doubt about it. The Namekian number 1 father in Dragon Ball, without a doubt. So breaking this down once again, coming in number 5 for me is Ox King. Number 4, Vegeta. Number 3, Gohan. Number 2, Krillin. And then number 1, Piccolo. Let me know in the comment section below if you agree or disagree with me. But had fun making this list here. And yeah, if you're new to my channel, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And anyway, we'll catch you next time. Keep on Dokkaning in a sense. This is a quasi Dokkan video, but again, using just the card arts. So anyway, catch you guys next time. Later.